Hi guys! If you don't know me yet, my name is Janne and last year I did research on sexual harassment in public spaces. This year I decided I wanted to focus on sexual harassment in the fitness industry, because let's be real, we all know it happens there as well. But now, let's rewind for a little bit. Last year I found out that 74% of women over the age of 15 have been harassed at least once in their life. This also means that 84% of women don't feel safe in public because they are scared something will happen to them. Furthermore, I found that 90% of women change their behavior to prevent this from happening to them again. Unfortunately, I also found out that 95% of harassers are male. But what is sexual harassment exactly? Sexual harassment is any behavior, so verbal and non-verbal, that has the effect of subjecting members of either sex to humiliation, embarrassment, or discomfort because of their gender or actual or perceived sexual orientation.
Sexual harassment can look like different things. It can be verbal harassment of sexual nature, including jokes or referring to sexual acts or sexual orientation. It can be discussing sexual relationships in inappropriate places. It can be feeling pressured, but it can also be staring or making inappropriate comments. As you can see, sexual harassment can look like a lot of things, and it can feel different to everyone, which is what makes it even more difficult.
From a young age, girls are taught that they need to be careful, that they can't cycle alone at night, they can't walk alone at night, or that they shouldn't wear certain things. This creates a victim-blaming society where if something were to happen to these girls, they would think it's their fault, and so would the people around them. They would say that they should have worn something else, or that they should have gone with a friend. They should have sent their location. But isn't it weird that we teach girls to prevent the behavior of men? Because it's their behavior. But we continue to teach girls on how to protect themselves and what they should do, instead of actively teaching boys that this behavior is not okay. Linked to this, there is the passive voice that we use when it comes to cases of sexual harassment or any violence against women. We focus on how many girls got raped, instead of focusing on how many boys raped girls. We focus on how many girls got harassed, instead of focusing on how many boys harassed girls. During my research, I found a TED Talk that focused more on this passive voice and how we subconsciously use it when we talk about sexual harassment or any other type of form of violence against women. As you can see in the first sentence, the focus is completely on John. John harassed Mary. But the more we start talking about this event, the less focus is on John. In the second sentence, we can see Mary got harassed by John. In this sentence, John isn't completely out of the picture yet, but the focus has shifted to Mary. In the end, all we can see is that Mary got harassed. Unfortunately, this is also the case with other solutions on sexual harassment. Most solutions focus on only the victims. And of course, they play a huge part, because they should feel safe, they shouldn't get harassed. But the only way we can change something is by changing behavior. But here, we just completely forgot about John, the harasser in this case. So isn't it a bit weird that we try to solve a problem, but we don't take it at the root? We try to solve something within Mary again. Now, let's focus on the fitness industry. When I started my research, I couldn't find anything about sexual harassment in the fitness industry. So I decided to do my own research. I asked women if they have ever felt unsafe or uncomfortable because of male presence, comments, or behavior at the gym. In total, I got 80 replies from women all over the world. In total, there were 20 different countries where they said this has happened to them. My own research in the Netherlands showed that 77% of women have felt unsafe or uncomfortable at the gym. If so many women have felt unsafe or uncomfortable at the gym before, why wasn't I able to find anything about it? Why couldn't I find any policies when it comes to sexual harassment at the gym? if 77% of women have felt unsafe at the gym? Shouldn't the gym be a safe place for everyone? Shouldn't it be accessible to everyone? There are also a lot of women that are too afraid to go to the gym because of this. There's a special word for this. We can either call it gym anxiety or gym intimidation. Because of this, less than half of women meet their recommended amount of physical activity, compared to 55 to 60% when it comes to men meeting their recommended amount of physical activity. As you can see, this sexual harassment creates a gap between men and women at the gym, because women are not able to meet their recommended amount of physical activity. We know it's an issue. Why else would women's only gyms be created? It's mostly so women can feel safe at the gym. And on one hand, it is nice that a special place is created where only women can go, so they can encourage each other, and so they can feel safe and comfortable enough to do whatever they want to do. But on the other hand, it doesn't solve anything. The behavior from the harassers at the mixed gyms still stays the same. And it might even make the problem bigger, because less women will go to the mixed gyms, which results into a more male-dominated space there, which again can result into more women feeling unsafe there. Can you see now how we have shifted back to the passive voice? Because a women's only gym is again focused on the victims, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change any behavior. It's us as women again trying to protect ourselves, trying to solve something that isn't our issue. It shouldn't be a women's issue. It should be a man's issue, because that's where it comes from. But before we can change something, we should create more awareness. If you see it happening, speak up. If you see your friends acting in a way that's not acceptable, tell them, teach them, explain it to them. That's how we're gonna change. We need to start somewhere. Most importantly, gyms should do more research into how many people get harassed, if they feel safe, what they can do. Because if that doesn't happen, if we don't know how many people feel unsafe, how can we change anything? Let's start somewhere. Let's make a change. Let's make the gym a safe place for everyone.